Hi, I'm Big Cal and welcome to my world. Today is another recent video games pickups video and it is based on all Nintendo Wii games. So obviously if you've been watching my channel for any time you probably know I'm a huge fan of the Nintendo Wii. I think it's one of the most underrated consoles of all time because people just seem to remember a handful of the high quality sort of AAA titles on it. And then they just think that the rest of the library is shovelware garbage. And a lot of it is. But there are also tons of gems out there that are still dirt cheap to this day. Some of my favourite games on the console are dirt cheap still. Yeah, so I'm always looking out for new games. Anything that remotely interests me. Whether they're good or bad, I don't know until I get them. And yeah, I have two piles of games here. One pile is bad and one pile is good. So yeah, we'll go through the bad games first and take a quick look at them all before I show off the good games that I've picked up in the last year, basically. Yeah, some of these titles I've had for some time, but now I'm finally getting through the backlog of pickups, games and videos. So yeah, here we go. Firstly then, with the first bad game that I picked up for the Nintendo Wii, and that is Mensa Academy. Also known as American Mensa Academy, I think, in America, and they just took off the first word for international releases. Yeah, so this I've been picking up and collecting, quiz games and things like that for some time now, planning on doing a huge video at some point in the future. So this was one of those, and I was expecting more from it, and what it ends up being is just really, really bad logic games, and that's about it. Yeah, it's just a bad game. It isn't fun. It's boring. And I was you look at some of the logic puzzles in it and think, why was that even included? There's no challenge. A 2-year-old could answer those questions. So yeah, it's Mentor Academy. Don't pick it up. And next then, another game that you probably shouldn't pick up. It is Movie Studios Party. Yeah, and this one is just a really bad sort of mini game, party game collection. It isn't very fun. They're all based on movies, just sort of in-game movies. There's a pirate one where it's just like an endless runner type thing, and it isn't fun. There's like an alien one, and it's a light gun shooter, and you would think that would be fun. No, it's boring, and I got so bored with it after that, I just didn't bother checking out the rest of the game. And yeah, it has pretty bad reviews, so I didn't really see the point in doing it anymore. Oh, there were a whole 20 mini games in here. 20. That'll keep you busy for 10 minutes. Yeah, Movie Studios Party. Not a good game. In fact, I think this even had, like Mensa Academy also had American Mensa Academy as the title. I think this had a different name. Got some notes here written down. Oh yeah, in America, this is known as Family Fest Presents Minigames. So it presents movie games. Yeah, Family Fest Presents Movie Games. Terrible title, terrible game. Ooh, and speaking of terrible games, I was excited for this one and I was thoroughly disappointed. It's a collection of 3 light gun games. So I love light gun games and the Wii is a great place to play a lot of them. Not here. This is the Mad Dog McCree Gunslinger Pack. It's a collection of 3 games, and it's those old FMV style games as well. It's full motion video, and you have to shoot at the right time to advance or not, basically. And it doesn't work well on the Wii. It's just a very, very bad version. I found that the videos were going out of sync a lot during my short time with it, and it seemed that there was severe lag with the shooting as well. I was aiming, I was pointing at the bad guy, I was pressing the button to shoot, and nothing would happen, and I would get shot and just constantly die, and I got absolutely nowhere in the game because I just died 3 times in a row, and that was it, out of lives, and thought, yeah, this isn't good. It's not me. I'm pointing at the person and pressing the shoot button. The game isn't picking it up, or it's just picking it up far, far too late. So, yeah. Only paid £5 for it, and frankly, that was a rip-off. So it isn't very good. Yeah. Next, a game that, well, honestly, I knew wasn't going to be good. Yeah, because the TV show it's based on also isn't very good. It's boring as all shit. But it was one of those, it's not quite a quiz game, but, count down the game. Basically, an afternoon TV show here in the UK, where letters and numbers, the contestants pick, consonants and vowels. That's the one. And they have 9 in total. They have to make the biggest word they can in 30 seconds. And then there are numbers, and they have to use 6 different numbers, and they have to try and equal a random amount that's computer generates using those numbers again within 30 seconds. Yeah, it's boring, and this is even worse because it's not like a fun TV show style game where you have the presentation of the show. No, but it's just boring basic screens and nothing interesting happens. Make one of the 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown version. That'll be fun. Yeah, but this one, no. And now for a handful of bad games that I knew were going to be bad and I wanted to buy them because they were bad. It's just one of those things, it's like, I want to own these just because of how monumentally bad and well known they are for being bad. So these are 4 games, I'm going to show them all off at once, and if you know, you know. You'll find out soon. So we have Anubis 2. Rock and Roll Adventures, Ninja Bread Man, and Mythmaker's Trixie in Toyland. And all of these games are exactly the same. They are the same game. They've just changed the textures of the levels and added in a different character to each game. And resold it 4 times. Yeah. And they are just really, really bad 3D platformers with bad controls. Jumping just isn't fun. The camera absolutely sucks. And there's a tiny bit of combat. And the hit detection is just terrible. None of it is fun whatsoever. Yeah, so 4 games on the Nintendo Wii, all identical outside of the visuals, and all of them bad. And somehow they got away with selling it 4 different times under a different name. It's not like today when they can do it digitally and they get away with it. Most people just don't notice or anything. No, these were physical, sold on shelves. So, yeah. But anyway, that means we are now out of the bad games pile and into the good games pile. Starting off with a game that is surprisingly really, really fun. Rabbids Go Home. Yeah, so this is basically a 3D shopping trolley collectathon. Perhaps the first and only of its kind. I don't know. Basically, you play as a rabbit, and rabbits for some reason want to sleep on balls of light, and this one particular rabbit is looking for one, can't seem to find an empty one because they've all been taken, and then he discovers the moon. So he wants to get to the moon, and all the other rabbits decide they want to go too. So you push around another rabbit in a shopping trolley, going through these levels and just collecting stuff, kind of like Katamari Damacy? Is that the name of it? Yeah, whatever. Basically, you go around the level and you collect all this junk, put it into trolley, and at the end, it's all calculated for how high it is. And basically, yeah, that's the game. You go through all these different levels, filling up the shopping trolley with as much stuff as possible. Try and build a platform to the moon. And it's really fun. It works really well. The controls are very fun. And I love the bit at the start where it's testing the waggle, and you have to do it like a couple of times, and it'll like, okay, you've done it once, twice, 3 times, get a little tick, and then you do a different version of the waggle, one, twice, and then the third time it's like, no, I didn't register, there's something going on here. It's like, what's wrong? I'm thinking like, well, is there something wrong with the remote, or did I do it wrong? No, it's part of the game. It goes to a camera inside the Wiimote, and there's a little rabbit in there, and then you can shake the Wiimote, and the rabbit will bounce around in it. It's just really, really fun. I like things like that. Yeah, so Rabbids Go Home. One of the better Rabbit games until the Mario and Rabbids series started. So, yeah, pretty good. And then we have a quiz game that is actually also pretty good. And this is the Nat Geo Quiz Wildlife game from, obviously, National Geographic. This is all questions based on wildlife, animals and things like that. Yeah, so my knowledge is severely lacking, but it was still a fun time because there were different, varied rounds. You weren't just constantly picking multiple choice. You had to look at pictures and try and figure out what it is, things like that. There's like betting where you can, how many points do you want to bet that you already own? So if you bet 100 points and you lose those 100 points. But if you win, you gain 100 points. Yeah, so fun stuff like that. Obviously would be better with multiplayer, like most quiz games are. But just for me playing single player, I had fun with it. And it's educational as well, so yeah, you can't really go wrong with that. I enjoyed that one. I think it's also available, I know it's available on Xbox 360, possibly the PS3 as well. Seems like one of those games that would have just been put on everything at the time. Then we have another game here for my collection, Wheel of Fortune. I love Wheel of Fortune, love the games based on it as well. They're surprising how good a lot of these Wheel of Fortune games are. There's one on the Switch that I have played far too much for a Wheel of Fortune game, but it's just a blast. And this one is no different. It is really good. I was complaining about Countdown, how there was no presentation style based on the show. This one, it's just like you're there in the show. You have the presenters, you have the set that you're in. There's voices and things, and it's just a fun time. It is basically, what the Switch version is. It's just the Wii version of that. Yeah, so it's really, really good. I had a blast playing it. I don't know if people who go on Wheel of Fortune often win nearly 100 grand at the end of the game, but I did on my first try. Yeah, so it's really fun. Obviously, the only bad thing about this is that it's the American version. We didn't get an English localization version of Wheel of Fortune, so some of the questions are very American based, and yeah, sometimes I just look at it, it's like, I have no clue what the answer could be, and then it comes up, it's like, that's not a thing here, I would have never guessed it. But beyond that, a lot of it is still worldwide. You're probably going to be able to figure a lot of it out. Yeah, so I had a blast with this one. Really, really fun. Yeah, happy I bought this one. Pleasantly surprised, because there are some quiz TV, quiz show style games, game show games that did get console versions that are really bad. But it seems the Wheel of Fortune series had really good games the entire time. Yeah, now we have another quiz game. Really, really good, this one as well. It's part of the Seen It series, and this is Bright Lights, Big Screen. Basically a bunch of movie, and is it just movie or movie and TV? I think it's just movie. And yeah, you have to answer movie trivia questions basically, and you get actual clips from films and things like that to help answer the questions, the images and things like that. Yeah, it's just really, really fun. And again, it's one of those where it's going to be even better with multiplayer, and even better still if you watch way more movies than I do, considering how many films are out and how many I've actually seen. It's a very tiny percentage, especially compared to a lot of normal people. I see considerably less movies than most people do because so few interest me these years. But yeah, I was able to answer a bunch of questions anyway, and even when I didn't know the answer, I was able to guess and get stuff right. So yeah, the Seen It series. I also own one, I think, on 360. Not really got round to playing that one yet, but yeah, Seen It games. I'll have to look and see how many of these were actually released and try and get them all. Next, another pretty cheap game that I was having fun with. I didn't realise what type of game this was. I thought it was a first-person shooter, or a third-person shooter even. No, it is a on-rails light gun style shooter game. and it is Nerf and Strike. So you have a Nerf gun in the game. You know, by those of you who like, they get little polystyrene or whatever, little pellets that you shoot out at people, and it's fun. Except for when you get hit with it. These, back when I was young, you know, you'd fire them out, there was little air pressure in, and they'd hit you, and that was that. These days, Jesus Christ, they're like bloody Gatling guns, and when they hit you, they bloody hurt. And I know, because I was recently attacked with them. So this one's pretty good. Light gun style shooter. Had an absolute blast with it. And there's also a sequel that I want to try and pick up called, I think, Nerf and Strike Elite. And there is also a Nerf gun that you can use with the Wiimotes to put in and play the games on the TV. So I want to try and get hold of one of those at some point as well, just because it looks cool. So Nerf and Strike, another really, really fun light gun style shooter that I wasn't really aware of until recently. Next, another light gun style shooter game that I have been aware of since it released, and I just thought, I don't really want to get that because it's part of a series I don't care about. But then I thought, it's cheap, I'm not buying it with the crossbow accessory. I'm sure you've figured out what it is by now. So I just bought the game on its own, and yeah, it's the best Legend of Zelda game of all time, Link's Crossbow Training. Yep, it's just a light gun style shooter. Shoot targets and things like that. It was pretty much just released as a sort of demo for the crossbow and to show off what the Wii can do essentially back in the day. But it's a really fun light gun style game, so yeah, I'm happy with that. I'll happily shoot targets. I don't care if it's set in Hyrule or anywhere else. Even if I don't like the series, the game is really, really fun. And it is dirt cheap if you just buy the game on its own. If you like with the crossbow, I don't know how much those go for these days, but I don't really care. I'd rather have the Nerf gun. Next then is a game that I was not expecting to be good at all. Partly because it's a licensed game. So yeah, those are always... There's a good chance those are going to suck to begin with. But this one came free with a game I ordered that's going to be shown off in another video. And the game I ordered was really good, and then this just came thrown in almost like packaging. It was like it was there to protect the game I had bought. So I just thought, oh, if they've thrown in a free game, they probably just have tons of these. It's probably garbage, nobody buys them, so they literally give them away. And then I played it, and it was fun. And that is DreamWorks' Shrek the Third. It's actually a good game. It's a 3D beat-em-up set in the Shrek the Third film, game, series, show, whatever. Rambling. I've never seen any of the Shrek films after the first one, so I have no clue what the plot is here or anything like that, but I just know that the game was fun. And not only that, it uses motion controls. And it's still fun, proving once again that the Wii does have good games with motion controls, and most of them don't just automatically suck. There are good ones out there. Yeah, so I had a blast playing this. You know, you got your basic attacks, and then you can build up a meter by collecting fairy dust or something, and use super attacks and things like that, collect coins to buy upgrades later on. I don't think I got to that part, so I'm just playing it to make sure it worked and see what the hell it was like, because it came for free. And yeah, I ended up having a blast with it. So Shrek the Third, hidden gem on the Nintendo Wii? Who knows? It's pretty good. Pick it up if you see it. I'm sure it's cheap. Wouldn't surprise me. Most Wii games are. Next then, and we have new play control, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. So this is a new play controlled port of the Nintendo GameCube game, and it originally used the GameCube bongos, which I do own. But the game, as you see, I bought it for £4, and if you want to buy the game without the bongos now, I think it's about £18. It's not terribly expensive, but yeah, it depends if you're going to like it using bongos or not. And then if you buy it with the bongos, it's considerably more expensive. So I just thought for £4, I'll pick it up on the Wii. I don't care. I like motion controls. Screw the world. They're good. Yeah, so it's a 2D Donkey Kong platformer that is so very forgotten about in time because it used bongo controls, and then on the Wii uses the Wii remotes, and people don't like motion controls. So yeah, they're missing out on a pretty fun game. It's obviously based a lot around you using the controls to clap and smash and things like that. So the people in Donkey Kong Country Returns who don't like having to use the Wiimote for things like that in the game are definitely not going to like this. But for those who don't care, there's a fun 2D platformer here, and it's probably one of the more underrated Donkey Kong games out there. So yeah, definitely check this one out. I had a blast with it. Now we have a bit more expensive game. It cost me a whole £20. And yeah, this one is another new play control game, Pikmin 2. Yeah, I don't own the original GameCube version because that is pretty pricey these days. The first Pikmin game, still cheap on the GameCube. The second one, not so much. So £20 on the Wii, yeah, I absolutely had to pick it up. Obviously, you can get it on the Switch these days, and I do plan on getting them all on the Switch at some point in time. But for now, yeah, the Wii version, and use the Wii controls for aiming where the Pikmin are going and things like that. And for a lot of people, this is still the definitive version of the game to play because the controls, you know, the gyro aiming controls on the Switch can be a bit finicky. They don't have, you know, the same, you know, there's no sensor bar on the Switch, so it's all done with other technology. Yeah, I'm a scientistic man. Sorry, crap myself up there. Yeah, the motion controls on the Switch just aren't quite as accurate a lot of times as the Wii was, believe it or not. Yeah, so a lot of people consider this to be the definitive version to play, so I'm happy to have picked it up. And yeah, I definitely want to go through and play through it at some point, because I've only played the first Pikmin game, despite owning Pikmin 3 for quite some time. But yeah, Pikmin 2, new play control version, yeah. And I remember when I bought this, it was £20. I went to the counter and they brought it back, and there was no manual with it, and I thought, fuck. But they had two in stock, and the other one did have the manual, so yes, I made sure I got the one with the fucking manual. So yeah, I got it nice, complete in box. And lastly then, I can't remember how much I paid for this, but it was more than Pikmin 2, but not that much more. Yeah, so I've been after this for some time, and I finally just decided to grab it, because why not? And that is Sin and Punishment, Successor of the Skies. So this is a sequel to Sin and Punishment, which is on the N64, which only got a Japanese release at the time. I think did it come out then on the Wii Virtual Console finally, outside of Japan back in the day. And then obviously, I don't know if it came out before or after this. But yeah, we got Sin and Punishment sequel on the Wii, released worldwide, thankfully. And it is just a really, really, really fun game. It's kind of like a mix between Space Harrier and Panzer Dragoon. So yeah, really, really fun. Going around shooting things, locking on stuff, lobbing bombs, and you also have a melee attack as well, which I think is kind of different from this style of game. And yeah, I was playing through to record footage, and I had an absolute blast with it. It is very, very, very fun. So I'm glad to finally own it, and I didn't really pay that much for it. Yeah, so I think I paid under £30 for it, so I was pleased. Yeah, so not a bad haul, in my opinion. The pile of good games is higher than the pile of bad games, and a number of those bad games I knew going into them were going to be bad, but I wanted them to add to my collection anyway. So overall, I am perfectly happy with most of what I bought. Some really good games in there, some higher priced ones, £20 plus, which is higher priced for the Wii system. And then some, pretty hidden gems there. Really good games that are still dirt cheap that I didn't know about before. So, I'm bigcal. Thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of my pickups for the Nintendo Wii. And I'll see you again next time.